Hey, Washington Commanders fans. Today, we're going to talk about a player who might join our team. Yes, this possibility isn't too far off. This trade could transform our team into a true offensive powerhouse. Stay tuned, because this is an opportunity we can't miss. Now, if you enjoy exclusive content about the Commanders, make sure to subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and leave a like. And of course, I want to know your opinion. So comment below what you think about this trade. The Washington Commanders are grabbing attention in the NFL with one of the most explosive offenses, largely thanks to the partnership between our quarterback Jayden Daniels and offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury. They've been putting up impressive numbers, and the last game against the Carolina Panthers was further proof of that. We scored over 40 points, and note, without Daniels on the field for much of the game. The offense is generally working well, but we still have room for improvement, especially when it comes to the wide receiver position. Terry McLaurin, as always, is playing at a high level and holding down the fort as the team's main target. However, the reality is that behind him, things aren't fully settled. We have players who can make plays, but we need more consistency. And honestly, an upgrade in this position would be very welcome. The time is now, with the season progressing and trades starting to heat up. With the trade market on fire, some teams are trying to strengthen their rosters for that final sprint. Others, on the other hand, are already throwing in the towel and trying to trade players who no longer have a place. One of these teams is the Tennessee Titans. With a dismal 1-5 record, the Titans seem lost, and this opens up an interesting opportunity for us. Among the players who might be available, DeAndre Hopkins stands out as a perfect target for the Commanders. And why Hopkins? Well, in the Titans' last game against the Buffalo Bills, he practically didn't play the last quarter. He finished the game with just one reception. Something is clearly not right. After the game, Hopkins commented that he was feeling some pain and was doing what he was told. What did he mean by that? It seems there's something strange going on there, and this situation might facilitate a negotiation. The Titans coach Brian Callahan was asked about Hopkins' situation, but he couldn't give a concrete answer. He said he would check with the medical department, but it was clear he didn't know exactly what was happening. In short, it's a mess. And in such a situation, with the Titans practically out of playoff contention, it makes perfect sense for them to try to get some value out of Hopkins while they can, as he's in the last year of his contract. Now, just imagine Hopkins here with the Commanders. He and Cliff Kingsbury already have a strong connection after all. Hopkins had 2 consecutive years with over 1,000 yards when he worked with Kingsbury at the Arizona Cardinals. The guy knows the offensive scheme and has had one of the best years of his career under our coordinator's command. He would be an addition that could literally start making a difference from the first game. And the best part, we wouldn't have to give up much to bring him in. Maybe a 3rd-round pick or even a day 3 draft pick. And if we look at our draft arsenal for 2025, we're well equipped. We have an extra 3rd-round pick, an extra 6th, and 2 extra 7th-round picks. So we're in a privileged position to make this kind of move without compromising the future. Moreover, the arrival of Hopkins would have an immediate impact on Daniels' development. Hopkins is a reliable target, and having someone of his caliber by his side would certainly accelerate the growth of our young quarterback. And don't worry, this doesn't mean players like Luke McCaffrey, Dyami Brown, and others will lose space. In fact, it might be the opposite. With Hopkins on the field, he will draw the defense's attention, freeing up space for these other guys to shine as well. Another interesting thing about Hopkins is his versatility. He can play both outside and in the slot, adding an extra layer of unpredictability to our offense. Just imagine Daniels having the option to throw to Hopkins, McLaurin, or explore the routes of our tight ends and running backs. The offense would be nearly unstoppable. Hopkins' presence would take a huge load off our young receivers, and at the same time give Daniels a solid option in key plays. Financially speaking, signing Hopkins would also be feasible. He would likely be a 1-year rental player, but the cost would be low. We're talking about a contract that wouldn't compromise our salary cap, and at the same time, could yield significant returns. If it works out, great. If not, the cost involved would be minimal, and we wouldn't be sacrificing our future. In the current scenario, the Commanders are serious playoff contenders, and an addition like DeAndre Hopkins could be the missing element to take us to the next level. There's not much to lose in this story. The trade would make perfect sense, as we could secure an elite player without having to give up important pieces of our roster or valuable draft picks. And if it helps develop Daniels and puts us in a stronger position for the postseason, then it's worth the risk. Now let's talk about how Marcus Mariota, yes, that very one, resurfaced to guide the team towards a crushing victory against the Carolina Panthers. And it wasn't just any victory. It was a true walkover, 40-7, and Mariota played a crucial role in it. But the most interesting part? He's giving all the credit to his teammates. So stick with me until the end, because I've got a lot of important stuff to share with you, including a cliffhanger about the next game that could change the course of our season. And of course, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon, because here you won't miss anything about the Washington Commanders. Well, let's go back a bit and talk about what went down. It all started with an inspired Commanders defense, right in the first few minutes of the game against the Panthers. Linebacker Dante Fowler, who, by the way, is playing at the top of his game, intercepted a pass and returned it for a touchdown. That's right, a pick six right at the beginning of the game, setting the tone for the match. This play drove the crowd wild and gave that initial boost that every team needs. But just when everything seemed to be going swimmingly, our rookie quarterback, Jayden Daniels, took a nasty hit to the ribs. It was a tense moment. Daniels had been showing great potential, and this injury worried everyone. But then, who steps into the spotlight? None other than Marcus Mariota, the veteran we know so well. And that's when things really started to heat up. I confess that at first there was some doubt, Mariota has had his ups and downs in his career, and right off the bat he missed 5 passes in a row. Yes, you heard that right, 5. I thought to myself, can he handle this? But then came what I think was the turning point. Mariota gave a statement after the game that gave me chills. He said it wasn't just him finding his rhythm, it was the team's brotherhood that helped him calm down. And that's what I love most about this Commanders team. They have a chemistry we haven't seen in a long time. The players support each other, help each other, and that makes all the difference on the field. Mariota himself said, "We have an incredible group of players, and this unity was what made me relax and start playing my best football." Man, you can feel how true this is just by watching the game. After shaking off the rust, Mariota started to show why he's a veteran with plenty of experience in the NFL. He completed 18 of 23 passes, threw for 205 yards, and scored 2 touchdowns. It was simply incredible to see how he turned the game around. That difficult start seemed to be just a warm-up, and when he got into his groove, it was a show. And look, it's not easy to come in cold in the middle of a game and manage to transform the scoreboard so decisively. This is the kind of leader we need. He showed that even in adverse situations, it's possible to recover and carry the team on your back when necessary. And you know what I find most interesting? Mariota, who has been through several teams throughout his 10-year career, said he's never felt anything like what he's experiencing now in Washington. He compared the atmosphere here with other teams he's been on, and highlighted that the brotherhood within the Commanders is something unique. It's very different from other teams I've been on. This kind of belief in each other really calmed me down, he said. You can see that he's comfortable here, and this could be a crucial factor for the team's performance in the coming weeks. Now, the burning question, with Jayden Daniels out due to the rib injury, will Mariota continue to be the starter next week against the Chicago Bears? And more. Can he maintain this rhythm and lead the Commanders to another victory? Daniels' injury is being closely monitored, and there are no guarantees that he'll be ready to play. But we know that football is like this. Opportunities arise when you least expect them. And who would have thought that Mariota, after some stumbles in his career, could be the guy to keep our team firmly in contention? Now, here's the deal. If you liked this content, go ahead and leave a like to show your support. Comment below what you thought of Mariota's performance, and of course subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss any updates about our beloved Washington Commanders. And I'll leave a question hanging for you to think about. If Mariota continues as the starter, could he be the key to taking us to the playoffs, or do you think Daniels deserves to come back as soon as he's 100%? Comment below because I really want to know your opinion. And look, I know you're as excited as I am to find out what's going to happen in the upcoming games. Following the Commanders this season has been an emotional roller coaster. Each game brings a new story, and the team is getting more united with each passing week. But now comes the most exciting part. What's going to happen in Week 8 against the Bears? It's going to be quite a duel, and with this atmosphere of brotherhood that Mariota talked about, I believe we have everything it takes to come out with another victory. Stay tuned, because this team is growing every week.